feeling of the home is calm and quiet, serene, with different sources of natural light. It's sort of a discovery on every floor where the light comes from and how the space is lit. I'm Elizabeth Roberts of Elizabeth Roberts Architects, and we're at our West 11th Townhouse in the Greenwich Village, New York. Greenwich Village is in the center of downtown New York City. It was the first neighborhood in New York City to be landmarked, and for the most part, the neighborhood is filled with buildings from the early 1850s all the way up to the 20th century. It's a nice mixture of modern and a lot of historic architecture. The client is a family of 4, and they'd been living in the neighborhood for many years in a much smaller home. They wanted a house for their kids to grow up in and a little more space in Greenwich Village. The client really loves Belgian architecture, Belgian interiors, Belgian design. We looked at a lot of projects that she was hoping we could capture that feeling in a West Village townhouse. We leaned a lot on the neutral palette, textures, muted and soft colors, beige, gray, creams, accented with black and sometimes dark woods. You enter the house up the original stairs. So we have the kitchen, dining, and living on the entry level, and on the lower level we have the family room. The kitchen opens onto the balcony in the garden through a large wall of steel and glass. Below the garden level that has the family room, we carved out some space and created a calm, quiet gym. On the second floor is our 2 bedrooms for the kids, one at the front, one at the back. There's a shared bathroom and also laundry. The top level of the house is the primary suite, and it has a large north-facing skylight. This house dates back to 1860, yet when we started our work, it had been altered significantly. And in fact, a lot of these buildings were turned into apartment buildings. So the private homes had gone a bit derelict, and they were turned into multi-family buildings. And oftentimes there were these large skylights that were added to the tops of the buildings for artists who often occupied this neighborhood. So it was a very bohemian neighborhood in the 1920s, 1930s. And in fact, that period when this house was altered is actually a very important part of its history that we retained. So the exterior of the building was restored to not its original state, which was an 1860s Italianate historic townhouse. Instead, we restored it to the 1920s version of itself. So the exterior of the building is very New York. I mean, by design, by requirement, with it being a landmarked building. And in fact, we had to replace a lot of brick at the exterior of the building. Some of it we were able to retain, but a huge amount of it is replaced. I love the discovery inside the front door that you're not in a typical New York City landmarked house when you're on the inside, or you don't know that you are necessarily. Because the house required a massive renovation and all new structure throughout the entire house and an entirely new staircase, we were free to choose the details that we wanted to create. We selectively restored some, and then we made some that were very not New York. The mantels in the living room and the primary suite were imported from France, and our limestone, unlike a typical New York City townhouse that has marble mantels. The new staircase that is in the same location and in many ways resembles the original staircase is entirely new. And so we decided not to do a historic baluster, instead to do something much more minimalist and tapered and quiet. In the kitchen, we use a lot of plasters. We use it on the wall, we use it on the hood. It creates a really muted and soft feel. And we used an Italian marble on the counters and painted cabinets in this neutral palette that extends throughout the house. There's not a lot of color in this house. It's a lot of neutrals, it's a lot of creams, and very specific beige. that felt just right to the client. I'd say my favorite part of this house is the primary bedroom and bathroom. Oftentimes when we're presented with a challenge, something that seems really difficult, it also creates a delightful surprise. So it was really complicated to figure out how to make a bedroom under an enormous skylight, and I think we did it. I'm most proud of the sense of calm that I think this house really embodies. Walking in off of the busy New York City street into this very calm, serene, quiet environment, I think that's one of the huge successes of this project.